So you guys get your rest, and you wake up the following morning, bright and early. Those of you that did sleep, or meditate, and Faye, you are met by Gervis and Tuazar, who are both very keen to go hunting.
Do they just like wake me up like in my tent, like, hey,
go.
wake up. I'm like, oh shit, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, you they as soon as you're up and like you walk outside, you find that they were like waiting for you. It's still like before dawn.
They're like, oh geez.
They're just ready. Gervis especially. And I suppose both as ready as each other. For a hunt.
Faye just like gets up. She's like kind of like groggy because she like she was
I don't
really
think you've explained to Gervis what you're doing.
I haven't, and I'm
no, but he's excited because she's gonna tell him all about what kind of guy she's into. So he's like, yes.
That's so funny. It's just
that
Tuzar's there, and it's like, yeah.
Tuzar and Gervis don't know what like the whole plan is, and I'm going to explain in just a bit to them. I didn't want to tell them right away. Faye just kind of gets up kind of groggily. She's like, oh my god, wow. I did not expect you guys this early. Give me like 2 minutes to change, please. And then she just quietly slinks back into her tent.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Holy shit. But you get yourself gathered, you get your equipment, you get ready to go.
Is it just us three, or did anyone else want to go, or nah? Because I don't think this is going to take very long, to be honest.
I don't think Lazar is going.
So it is just you three.
Okay, that's fine.
And
I just brought it up in case anyone wanted to try, but it's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay. It'll probably be much easier if it's not a lot of people.
It's and it's just gonna be really short. I just wanted to like bring it up in case anyone was like curious or like wanted to, but it's totally fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks for offering.
No problem.
You head out with them, and you see that Gervis has brought like a longsword with him.
Neat.
Because he told him to bring a weapon. He's like, okay, cool, weapon.
Like, oh god. As we're walking, I kind of stop the two and I say, well, you're probably wondering why I gathered you all here today.
The classic.
But Faye just is like, well, now that we're a little bit further away from the monastery and away from prying ears, I guess I should explain to you, Gervis, exactly what kind of guys your so-called friend likes. Kind of given like looks at Tuazar like, yeah.
Yeah, so Tuazar's pretty oblivious, but like Gervis has been like itching to hear this information all morning, so he's listening attentively.
Okay, so here's the deal. She's not really into guys that are just kind of like trying too hard, I guess, like just, guys who, she has a particular type.
And tough Romans.
Yeah. She likes the big burly men type. So my thought is that we go on a hunting trip, you impress her with some game that we catch and see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, then I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know what else to tell you, but
at least now he knows what kind of men she likes.
Yep. Yeah. But figure that this would be our best bet. So if you are willing to, give it a whirl, then we'll keep going.
He says, absolutely. Let's do this.
Faye giving the one.
Okay, real quick, Gervis. Okay, we're about to go into a jungle. Please don't try to like pick up like the biggest thing you can get. Like, let's start off medium size. Like, let's not just give her a bird. I think she probably wants something a little bit bigger. But let's not like go straight up for like what is in this jungle, like a tiger.
There would be probably tigers, maybe jaguar.
Yeah, like let's not go for those.
Yeah, nothing deadly. Like maybe like for a ram or like something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Let's go with like a ram.
Considering
Alright.
like they're from like Vasco, something you could like take the fur and make something really nice out of would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just don't want to take this young man who probably, let's not get him like destroyed by a tiger.
Mm.
I'm trying to get him laid, not dead. So yeah, we'll head over to the jungle. We're not gonna go super deep into it. We're gonna just kind of towards the edge, just kind of find something.
I will get a survival check from you.
Give me one sec.
Excellent.
Okay, thank God.
So you happen upon the prints and a couple of tufts of hair caught on different plants and edges, the bark of trees and stuff of what appears to be something like a ram or a goat that's been through here recently, and you follow these tracks to the west a lot more up through the rocky hillside. And after some time, you come upon the ram in question. It's just kind of like hanging out and chewing on some of the grass.
Okay. Faye's gonna get really low, and she's gonna signal to the both of them to like come closer and just like like shh, like keep quiet. And then she's gonna lean over to Gerbus and she's gonna say, "Okay, I'm going to fire an arrow and try to stun it. And then once it gets stunned, that's your cue to go. Ready?"
He just nods his head.
Okay, and then I'm gonna fire my ray shot. Oh my God.
You have a plus 11. It's fine. So you
watch me roll a natural one the one time. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this really cool thing for you. Oh shit!
you fire, it bounces off a rock and hits Gerbus. Like
he dies. Like, oh
yeah. Like, oh.
Right. So you fire the shot at the ram, and as soon as your arrow leaves the bow, and fires at this thing, Gerbus stands and moves on the ram. The arrow hits it, and it you see it like sting the ram, and it like turns toward you. I'll get you to roll damage for it.
Okay. It's my D8 plus 1D8 plus 1D6.
Yep.
Ow. Ouch. Okay. But it's okay. I'm not trying to kill it.
Yeah. Gerbus runs over and swings upward with his longsword, chopping into the throat of the ram. And that pretty much kills it fairly instantly. Like its throat gets caught on the sword, and it just basically bleeds it.
Nice.
And the ram kind of falls limp, and he picks it up. Tuazar stands up behind you and congratulates you on a good shot. And you can see that she's just, even though she didn't like take a shot and she didn't go and run in and stab the thing or anything like that, she was just happy to track something through and watch it get killed. She's all about it.
I mean, we can find something for her too. I don't mind.
Oh, she's satisfied. That's
okay.
Yeah, just going on the hunt is what she lives for.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting something is great, but this is something really basic, die. And she's like, it's defenseless. I'm not interested. If it was a tiger you were going after, she'd be like, fuck yeah. But
you're like, oh cool. Hell yeah. Yeah, I just don't want to kill anyone, like just like, hey, let's go like kill a fucking tiger, and then it's like they never return. Like, they said they were gonna go out hunting. Like, where the fuck did they go?
They got hunted instead.
No one comes back.
Everyone's dead. So you guys Gerbus kind of like hoists the ram up over his shoulders.
Really quick, I run over and I remove the arrow so that way to avoid suspicion.
Right. Smart move. So you go and remove that arrow. Gerbus sheathes his sword and carries the...
Cover him up in blood a little bit.
Yeah, no, he's carrying it over his shoulder so that it bleeds onto him.
I also give him a high five because that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, he high fives you. He's pretty stoked about
Yeah.
it. And he carries this thing fireman style like back through like the jungle down towards the camp.
Mm-hmm. Before we get to the monastery, I stop him and I'm like, okay, you're gonna go up to her and you're gonna act very nonchalant, okay? Like, don't try so hard because I think that's what's getting her, like that's turning her off, okay? Act very casual, all right?
He's
like
nodding.
this, like it's no big deal.
He's nodding and he's sweating like, okay,
okay, and
I'll
then
try.
one more thing, and then she grabs his collar and like rips it open, and I'm like, okay, you're ready.
His collar. It was like chest. Yeah, gotcha.
Exposed chest. Yeah, I meant like
Go.
yeah.
Go, my son.
So you guys
He's
make
ready
your
to
way
seduce.
along the beach. Make your way along the beach and back in towards the camp. I'll get you to make a perception check, Faye.
All right.
Is walking ahead, and then you behind, and then Tuazar behind you.
Oh, thank God.
So you notice Tuazar is kind of wobbling a bit.
Uh-oh.
And you kind of turn around to look at her, and she kind of like, she looks almost like feverish, and her eyes are like, they have bags under them, and she's a little bit like, a bit sweaty. And
Can I roll a medicine and see what's wrong
you
with
sure
her?
can.
No, honey, no.
Roll an investigation check real quick. As you sort of
Okay.
give her a good quick look over.
I'm like, honey, no, don't die on me. Don't die on me, Suicide! Don't die on me!
She's not gonna die, relax. But she,
I can't spare the dying.
she's like, what? You're just hitting her with shock paddles while she's still standing.
Oh God, no.
You like Gerbus walks on ahead as you're checking Tuazar and making sure she's okay. She's a bit wobbly, and she's insisting that she's fine. And you can see like she looks almost dizzy, like the way her eyes are like sort of flicking like left and right and moving around.
I'm gonna prop her up, and like I'm still keeping an eye on Gerbus to see how that's going. But I'm gonna see if I can find Merton because he probably knows what's up.
Yeah.
All right, so you help her like prop up against one of the archways so that she has somewhere to stand, without falling. And you rush up toward everywhere else. Following Gerbus up, he's still trudging along happily with his ram.
Is he okay? Like, he's not feverish, is he?
No, he's fine.
Oh, God.
And yeah, you rush up toward everyone else, and amongst everyone is sort of slowly waking up and getting ready and all that kind of stuff. You find Merton, who is just kind of like washing his face.
Just try to grab him and just drag him. I don't even say anything. I'm just like, ugh!
Okay. So you drag Merton away. He's like, oh God, okay, what? And you pull him down like the stairs and past Gerbus, who you passed like over the archway bridge. He's like, oh, hey. And rush by down toward Tuazar. And Tuazar is like slumped down into like a sitting position against the wall. And she just kind of like, her head's kind of rolling left and right a bit like wonky. And
is she okay?
He Merton crouches down and like gives her a good look in the eyes and like sees them sort of like doing that weird flicking left and right and all that shit. Feels her temperature, and he starts looking at her arms and her legs, and on the side of one of her legs, on the side of like her thigh, you can see like there's kind of like a scratch of like 3 or 4 marks up her side, the side of her thigh there, and one of them still has in one of them one of the small spines from one of those plants that he picks out and has a look at, and he goes, "Oh," flicks it to the side, and like uses some of the water that he has in his canteen to like splash it out and wash out the wound.
I'm sorry, is she gonna be okay?
He says, "Oh, she'll be fine. She's just gonna be seeing some stuff for a while."
Oh God!
She's brushed up against one of those flowers, and it's you know, there's a neurotoxin in them, and it's gonna kind of make her see things. And she reaches out and grabs Merton by like the cheeks with like her fingers and her thumb and smushes them real tight.
Oh
and
my God!
Toward him, and she says, "Pink butterflies." And he's just like, he just kind of like turns toward you, his face still smushed. And he's like, "Yeah, she's gonna be like this for a while."
As long as she's okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't think that, anything like this was gonna happen.
He says, "Oh no, I've seen her stung by much worse things than this and had all kinds of venoms in her and hit her with all kinds of anti-venoms and poison cures and all kinds of shit. She'll be fine."
Okay.
She's had it much worse than a bit of a plant.
Do you need help getting her into bed or anything like that?
It's like, "Oh no, we'll give her about 10 minutes to overcome this first little shock of it, and then she'll be able to walk on her own."
Okay. I'm still sorry though.
He says, "No, it's fine."
Faye just
this is-
apologizing, like, "Shit, I almost killed your girlfriend."
He says, "No, she was never at any true risk. She's just kind of
Hi.
she's just stoned. This is gonna happen. This is not the first time this has happened. She's had much worse run-ins with any kind of poison or toxin, and like this is nothing. This is gonna bring her down." But he's just gonna have to deal with her being stoned for the day.
So thanks for that.
Yeah.
It should be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Okay.
You hurry back up the stairs toward the main monastery building where, you have other business happening that you need to attend to.
Yeah.
And you come upon the scene of Gerbus, who's now reached the top of that stairway and is walking past all the people, still dripping with blood, and carrying this ram on his back. And a couple of the monks walk over, like, "Why are you covered? Why do you have a ram? Why are you covered in blood? What's happened? Are you okay?" And he, just with a smile, he just kind of says, "Oh, I thought I'd pay you back for all of the wonderful rams and goats that you fed us, so I thought I'd get one for all of you, save you the trouble," that kind of thing. Roll a perception check. Anyone who happens to be awakened at the camp at that time. It's going to be quite early in the morning, like just after dawn. So up to you guys if you're awake or not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Lazara's awake, so.
Did you say perception?
Yes.
Let's say we are.
Oh,
Nailed it.
Oh my God.
Damn!
Everyone else with like their high 20s, and then there's Lazara with 6 and 9. Classic.
She's got like 5 eyelashes in one eye.
Oh my God.
Of course, Lazara.
Classic Lazara.
Yeah. So you, those of you that didn't roll Lazara, the rest of you notice. First of all, you all notice that Aziz is kind of looking at him rather impressed, because she didn't think this was something he would ever be up for doing, and it seems as though he's gone and done it on his own, of his own volition. And she's pretty impressed looking. She's like, "Oh shit!
How does she like the exposed chest?"
It's all worked rather well in favor of Gerbus. 100%. The blood, the the open shirt and like the long sword and the wound on the goat, and he's just carrying it over his shoulders. She's all about it. So she's like,
Nice.
you can visibly see the process she goes through in her head of like, maybe he's not so bad after all. I should give him a chance. I should talk to this guy. Maybe he's okay. Maybe I just don't see enough of him. And you can just see this sort of process going on behind the eyes. And he helps like the monks sort of guide him down the stairs toward the fire pit to get it ready for like the meal. And he, as he walks by, he's kind of like dripping some blood on people. He's like, I'm so sorry. Really quietly, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oops, sorry about that. No, my bad. I'm sorry.
I'm a big manly man. Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. But really quietly, like on the side, so he doesn't, give off the wrong impression. So he's carefully trying to avoid that happening, but, it's a lot of blood because he slashed a goat's throat. But what else do you guys see happening right now? So, Eris and Simon, Nate, everyone's kind of like packing up their things and getting ready for the trip home. So they're all like organizing. All the families of different people are getting together, all organized at once. Like, make sure you have this, get all your things. Timmy, I won't let you leave your bear behind. I swear to God, go and find it right now. I told you 3 times. Why is it not in your bag? And then just, going through that whole process of like their children and getting the elderly people who don't want to leave because they're comfortable and, just trying to organize everything.
Man, you have to go back home.
Yeah, it's kind of like chaos right now. Like everyone's kind of like rushing around to get everything's organized.
It's more chaotic going back home than coming over here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they are gathering all their things. It's just because everyone's here all at once. Like if it was just people that were in their homes, you wouldn't think it's that much. But because everyone's doing it all at the same time, it's chaos. And the monks are just sort of helping them wherever they can, as well as organizing the big meal that they're going to feed them before they send them off. Thanks to Gerbis and Faye. Those of you who rolled, well, actually, the rest of you, except for Lazara, sorry. The rest of you noticed that there was a arrow hole in the side of the ram as well.
I mean, we knew.
Yeah.
That Faye was doing a thing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she didn't.
You can kind of now sort of piece together like this was her design. This was he shot the thing.
That was very it reminded me of Hannibal.
Yes, that was the exact point.
Nice.
Yeah, she this was her plan all along, was to shoot the thing and then make him look like a hero, carrying it all the way back up and taking none of the credit for herself, just letting him do it and look like a man. Like
give the guy a little chance.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And if it doesn't work out in the end, like at least she noticed him now, and it's gonna. Yeah.
At least he had his chance.
Yeah.
Yep.
She gave a chance to a lost cause.
It's all up to him now.
You're on your own, buddy.
My boy.
You're on your own, buddy.
Yeah. So he's now helping the monks sort of like skin it, to get like the pelt from it, while Aegis and the others are all getting their shit together, packing up and getting ready to go. Gunther, you notice. I mean, you guys pretty much have all your shit ready to go whenever. But Gunther, you notice that one of the 2 male tieflings has kind of moved over to where the other one was moments ago, and where all of his stuff still is. And you notice him put something into one of the bags.
Do I
and
notice
walk away.
what it is?
Oh, shit.
You couldn't quite tell. He can't. Let's roll a perception check. Actually, let's see.
Perception.
Oh no.
Ooh. You just barely catch a glimpse of what he put in there. So it was it looked like a piece of gold, like a coin. Just you caught the glint from it, and he just placed it into one of the guy's bags.
So just a coin?
A coin. And then he immediately walked away from the area.
Which one put the coin in? Just because I forgot which one's which.
So it was Garmaros's stuff, the guy from the Star Shadow Order, and it was Scaris who went and put the coin in there. While Garmaros was off, like, getting some of his other things together and helping other people get ready.
Okay.
People from his guild.
Just so that I remember, because I wrote something, but at the same time, kind of mixed up the things. Which one was done dirty?
It appears as though Scaris was done dirty by Garmaros at some point.
Okay, that's what I wrote. That's good.
Yep.
It seemed that way. Okay. I'll wait till he's gone, and I'm not gonna go there myself.
Okay.
I'm just gonna cast Mage Hand.
Yep.
And just pick it up, see what it is.
So you're gonna go through like the bag and find the coin
With Mage Hand.
with Mage Hand. All right. You would have to like get a look in there to make sure you grab the coin and not all of his other shit that's in there.
It's
Just
true. I kind of figured. I thought I saw like which pocket or where he put it.
You did. It was in like the main pouch of one of the bags.
Oh,
like
jeez.
Yeah.
So the big area with everything in it.
Yeah, that's where he put it. And it seems to be like the guy's main bag with all of his belongings and stuff.
Do you not have Unseen Servant? Is that another thing
I
to
do
know?
not have. I don't have
That's
Unseen Servant. No.
Mm.
I also don't have invisibility.
You do have a cloak of it.
Debatable.
Oh.
Very, very debatable.
Technically, you have a cloak of it. Very technically. But yeah, go on. What would you like to do in this situation?
Is Diana near me?
Yeah, reasonably.
Okay.
Hanging around, just kind of chilling.
Jeffrey's just gonna go over to Diana and ask. I have a favor to ask. Would you mind making me invisible for a moment? I have to investigate something, and I don't need to be seen. He says this discreetly.
Hey, can you help me
Roll
with my
an
shitty
insight check for
business?
me real quick.
Also, it's nothing shady. I promise.
Saying that makes it worse.
You trust him,
All right.
100%.
So he says it's nothing shady, and you think genuinely that it is nothing shady, but you think
Like,
this is something to do with Kalas.
But it's not shady.
But it's not shady. Maybe he's trying to deliver a gift to her or something.
I'm going to think wholesome.
Yeah.
Aw.
Okay.
And he's just investigating something totally different.
She has a cheeky smile on her face, and she says, "Okay."
Thank you.
And she turns you invisible.
Okay, so you are invisible.
What
would you like to do?
Going to the bag, and I'm going to look around to see that Scaris is not around.
Yep.
And then I'm going to look.
He's kind of off amongst a bunch of other people doing his own thing.
I'm going to look subtly, but like not like enough that it doesn't look like the bag is moving.
Yep, so real carefully and slowly checking out what's going on. You can see inside of this bag, there's a couple of items, personal possessions. It looks like a lot less than what should be in there. And you see the coin sitting there with everything else. And as you go to reach for the coin, you see the coin, the side of it open up to reveal this large mouth, and it swallows one of his pieces of, like, his stuff that he has in his bag. The coin just, like, and eats it.
This is nasty.
Yeah. So the coin appears to be some sort of mimic
Oh, no.
that is eating all of the things in his bag and devouring them.
What the hell am I gonna do?
And then
with
as soon
this?
as like it opens up its mouth and like widens to the shape of like whatever it's trying to eat and then consumes it, it goes back down to the size of a coin. Looks like a normal gold coin.
Oh
Oh
boy.
my god.
Oh boy.
Fucking asshole.
He is.
Oh my god.
Right now, I'm like really thinking about, okay, what can I do that would help with that? And I can't. I don't have
so
anything.
petty.
I mean, you could use Mage Hand and yeet it, like
Yeah.
yeet
Yeah, I
into the
might.
ocean.
I will get you to make a Arcana check for me real quick.
I will do just that.
Okay. So you know that this particular type of mimic, this particular type of mimic, if you put it in like a bag or like some sort of carrier or like a pocket or something just on its own with no other items in there, it'll sit there just normally like a gold coin and do nothing. If it's there with other objects, in anywhere with other objects, it will eat them one by one.
Oh boy.
And that's kind of its diet, is items and things.
Okay, so here's
It
an
doesn't
idea.
bite people, doesn't bite.
Oh, you can grab it.
You can
Yeah.
grab it.
So here's an
It's
idea.
not going to bite you.
I'm going to. If I take something out of my bag, is it going to be visible or not?
You can sleight of hand it.
Because what I want to do is I want to take the mimic, and I want to take the magic box I have.
You know, it might be
And-
easier if you just grab it, like sleight of hand it out, and you go away and
Yeah,
do that,
that's
like,
what I was thinking of
out of
doing. Just
sight.
like grab the mimic and then like
Yeah.
store
Walk
it.
away and
Is,
then...
is the
it
mimic gonna
somewhere.
eat him
Okay.
whole though, or not?
No,
No,
like-
so the
Okay.
mimic doesn't eat people, it only eats items that are sitting
Okay.
loosely on their own.
So I will take the mimic.
Yep.
And do I have to roll sleight of hand for that? Or
Yes, if you don't want anyone to spot you.
and I'm invisible, do I get advantage for it?
You get advantage, yes. Excellent.
Oh
Nobody
my
did.
god, amazing.
So you
never know.
carefully slip this thing out of the bag. You feel it kind of shift in your hand for but a moment, but then it just stays still, and it just feels like a normal gold coin. It feels the same weight, the same texture on either side of it. It looks just like a normal, currently in circulation gold coin. And you just kind of keep that in your hand, carefully hold it away, and relatch his bag and put it all back to where it was, and then you sneak away.
Okay, so when I'm done sneaking away and I'm back to being, I'm gonna get myself back visible somewhere where it's not suspicious to see a guy pop out. So just somewhere
Yep.
like out of sight, basically.
You're like, good. They're just like
You-
glitches out of like out
So-
of reality, and it glitches back in.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. It happens all the time. So, Gunther, you walk down to where the bathhouse is, and you open the door and step through, and then become visible as you're stepping through the door. So, other people on the other side of the door will think, "Oh, you've just walked into the bathhouse." People on your side of the door, "Oh, he's just walked out of the bathhouse." You know, it's fine.
So normal stuff, basically.
Yeah, normal stuff. You look like you belong. That kind of thing.
And
So you
what I'll do is I have this box that's like how deep is it again? It's 1 foot. That one metal box that's 1 foot deep. The magic box, basically, that looks like it's small, but it's actually like deeper than it looks.
Yep, I remember
So-
the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it alone in that box.
All right. So you stick him into the box and close the latch, and you have the mimic coin in the box.
I'm gonna write it down in my
Yep.
inventory.
So as long as it's stored on its own, fine.
Totally fine.
And I'm gonna
Won't
highlight it.
hurt people. Won't eat the container that it's in. If it's inside of like a pouch or a pocket or someone's hand or in like a box, some sort of container on its own, it's fine. And if it's in somewhere with other items, it will devour them one by one by one.
That's really funny.
You looking into that bag though, it appears as though half of his shit had already been eaten.
Yeah. At least some of his stuff will be saved.
True.
and I have the thing with me, so I can just.
He still achieved what he was trying to do, but at least it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, it's been like the damage been reduced
Yeah.
just a little.
Everybody will. Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
actually, not everybody wins.
Yeah.
Someone still
my
lost
God.
something.
Yeah. But it's
It
okay.
could have been worse, though.
You nullified some of the damage. But anyway, you now have this coin, and you return to the others once your job has been done.
Yes.
So everyone's preparing, like the townsfolk are preparing to leave.
All of them are preparing to leave. Scaris has all of his shit together. He's with some of the other Arrow Rock Hunters Co. Guildies that he's with. They're just kind of chatting about things. You see Galmaros come back from like his guildies to gather all of his shit, and he picks up his bag and he's like, oh. And he just puts it over his shoulder. And then like he just tests the weight and sees like, oh, a lot lighter than I thought. Nice. It's gonna be an easy trip home. And he puts it over his shoulders and gets all of his remaining shit together and walks over to the guildies at the SSO guild.
Sorry to ask that again, but the one that put the coin in the bag, who was it again?
That was Scaris.
Okay.
It was Garmeros's bag.
Okay, I'm gonna write that
Curious.
down right now.
What do these guys look like? I've been curious since we first heard of them.
So Garmeros is kind of like a purple tiefling with really golden sort of
I
eyes.
sort of imagine like him as purple for
Yeah.
some reason.
And he has sort of golden eyes, and he wears a little bit of jewelry, kind of like a long necklace with golden
Tieflings
things.
tend to be.
Yeah, he's quite extra, and like
Yeah.
some rings and bracelets and stuff like that. He wears a bunch of that. He has kind of a neat button-up shirt and some really flowy pants.
Oh my God.
Scaris, however, he's like a really deep red tiefling. With,
Deep red, you said? I'm sorry, your voice was cutting a little bit.
Yeah, deep red, like
Deep
really
red,
dark
okay.
red. With one of his horns has kind of like been chipped. Like the end of like it's kind of like ram horns in a way, like they curl slightly, but they still go back and curl a little bit. One of them, the end of one of them has been kind of broken off and chipped. And he has kind of like a scar running down the back end of his cheek on the right side, like by the back of his jaw. Just a little scar, probably about an inch or two. Like he's been cut by a dagger or by a claw or a tooth of something. And he wears kind of leathers.
Well, he's
It's
from
like
the hunting guild.
Yeah, he wears like a
He has like a.
like a tan shirt and like a leather vest. And brown pants to match the vest and shirt. But yeah, that's the two of them.
It's exactly how I imagine Gamers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what he looks like. Garmeros, Gunther, you remember, is the one that sold you the bag of holding.
Yeah, I remember.
Cool.
He's like, that's why I did this for him. I did him a solid.
But
Hey, you remember that Scaris is the one who tried to buy the wolf pendant, the thing, and he was like bidding with the dude. That was Scaris.
Yeah.
Yep. So
both of them are being assholes to one another. This is not gonna end well.
Tiefling fight.
The pettiest.
Diana's like...
Yeah, they are being petty.
I'm sorry? What was that?
Diana's like, what?
Lacey?
Mm?
What
did
you
you say? Diana's what?
I was going to say, I actually forgot. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I was going to say something. It was just a joke or something like that, but I just totally, like, my brain, like, was like...
Fair enough.
Been there.
Yeah.
The
like,
pettiest
oh,
of
right.
fights, tiefling fight.
The pettiest of fights. So, what would you guys like to do with this day while everyone's packing up and getting ready to go? It seems as though they'll leave sometime after like the big lunchtime meal they're going to have of this goat they're roasting up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Have a feed before they head out.
So they have energy.
Yeah. What's everyone doing? I imagine. I mean the NPCs.
Okay.
I imagine Matt and Tuosa are probably dealing with
Oh yeah.
Yeah. After some time, Merton sort of leads her up the stairs, and a couple of the monks rush over to come and help. They help her to her feet.
They have a guilty look on her face.
As they're walking by, you guys hear her like talking to like the monks, like "Skeleton's really funny, skin," like being real weird. And the monks are like, "Okay, ma'am, that's a weird thing to say." And Merton's just like, I'm sorry. She's a bit like that. And he goes and speaks with one of the elders. You can see them like quietly having a conversation off in the distance as the monks like help carry walk to Azar to like a safe spot to sit down. And as they're doing that, you see like in the distance, like they're far away enough that there's no sound, but you see like Merton explaining something to the bearded guy. And the bearded guy kind of like has this surprised expression and then looks over at Tuazar. Then you see him like, and he kind of like, and he just one moment, and then he walks inside the big building, and Merton's just kind of like tapping his fingers, looking around at all the people. Like people walk by, and he gives them a nod, like, "Hey, how you doing? How's things?" And then the monk comes back out, and he gives a little. It looks like a little wooden tub. No, a bit bigger than a coin, a bit deeper than a coin, but about the same size. And he gives it to Merton, and Merton bows his head and walks back over toward Tuazar. And he opens it up, and inside there's like this cream, but it's divided in the middle, like inside the wooden little tub. So there's like a half and half. One half is like a cream, and the other half is like an oil.
Okay.
And he, with one finger, he sort of takes out some of the cream and rubs it into like her wounds where like the plant kind of like scratched her and dug in and got its venom in there. And he rubs it over that and puts the cream over the whole area. And uses his fingers to cover up the cream part and only exposing the oil part, opens her mouth and tips it in.
Oh. And
then just like rubs her throat until she swallows it. And then she kind of goes, and then once it's swallowed, she's like, "That always tastes funny. Your stuff always tastes funny." And he just kind of like covers her up and looks around. Medicine. And he's just like, fucking hell. His family's around and everything.
Panic.
Yeah, he was like, what the fuck? Because, you know them, they're pretty, like, quiet, reserved people with their relationship and all that.
Well, Merton is.
Well, Tuazar kind of is as well. She's quite proud of him, but, you know.
We're watching this happen.
Yeah. That happens.
Oh my god.
So...
Oh. Stuff always tastes funny.
Yeah. So the healing he applies to Tuazar seems to help. And it kind of calms her fever, and it appears to be medicine that they stock up specifically for these plants, just in case monks or merchants and stuff passing by happen to brush by one of these plants and get all fucked up. You know, the monks help them out. So they have these like on standby, ready to go in little tubs.
It was really funny that the monk was like laughing about it in such a way.
Yeah.
Like he's seen it happen so many times.
Yeah. But he gets like the tub and goes and returns it to the monk, and you know, very thankful. Everyone is gathering their stuff over the course of the day. The other NPCs, so Simon and Eris, packing up their things as well with Nate, and they're gonna go back with the big group and then teleport back home.
Makes sense.
So they're just gathering their things and they're gonna come and say goodbye in a bit. But what are the rest of you doing?
Bizarre's gonna go look for Indigo.
Alrighty. So you find Indigo down by the Zen gun, and she's currently like raking some of the sand while standing on a stone. And she's standing on like 1 foot while she's reaching sort of like the far away part. She seems to have like perfect balance and control over this. And she's just sort of very fluidly like using the rake through the sand and all that kind of stuff. And you can see off to the left of you as you're walking over this like archway bridge, there's a man from Vaskia who's lying there next to like an empty bottle of what looks like rum.
Oh God.
And he looks like he's passed out drunk. And he's just slept there the night. You didn't notice him before because it was dark, and he's kind of like there amongst some of the rocks and bushes. He appears to have thrown up in a bit of the sand, and he's just asleep there with some of the sand on the side of his face and like his feet and stuff, like he's trudged through the sand at one point. And she's not doing a thing to help him. Now that you get nice and close and you can see what she's doing, she is with one hand like and the rake drawing a great big penis in the sand. And once she's done and she's like, quite proud of her handiwork, she uses like the very tips of the rake like into the sand as like right at the end as like a little, and then she like puts like the rake over her shoulder, looks down at her handiwork, she's like, yeah, good. And then she hops off the rock and turns around and there's you, and then she freezes for a second in pure terror, thinking it was one of the monks.
Yeah.
But it's you. And she's like, oh, thank God. And then she walks by you over around the sandpit to that guy and just places the rake down next to him.
Beautiful.
And she turns back toward you, sort of dusting off her hands, walking over to you. She's like, so what's up? Are you heading back with everyone today, or?
No, I'm probably going to stay for a little bit. And she looks over at the guy and then back to Indigo and says, I am trying to think of what she says. She just kind of says, I am so proud of you.
she smiles and looks back at him and she's like, yeah.
Is it like a very crude drawing, or is it?
Oh,
like...
it's very detailed. It's like
wow!
It's not like a random like of a dick. Like she like took her time carefully, knowing he was passed out drunk and not going to wake up, and she like put in great detail. But she did enough detail for it to be very clear what it was, but not enough for it to be suspicious that a drunk person did it. Like she's made it a little messy at times, a little bit of a bend, that kind of thing.
It's a bendy dick.
The reason she had to like stand on 1 foot and reach is because that guy looks quite tall, and she's not exactly that tall. She's about Diana's size, so she had to like really reach for that to make it look like Anyway, yeah. So she looks to Lazara and she says, "So, will we get our rematch?"
Yeah, I was just coming to ask you about that.
Excellent. I am ready when you are, so if at any point you want to do this, let me know.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Awesome. There's a little spring in her step. She says, should we put on a show for all the Vaskirians, or should we wait until they all leave?
Let's go ahead. Why not?
She has a big grin on her face. Excitement abound.
I want to say that as this is happening, Diana's gonna go see what they're up to, because she probably imagines what this is about.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when she sees the thing,
you also see the dick, yeah.
She's like, "Is that?"
And Indigo is just like, I don't know. The guy is just, I found him here. It's just,
Lazara just kind of shrugs and says, how those drunk people are.
So she'll do her deception with advantage then. Cool. I mean, she's a convincing liar, but you can kind of tell. You know? Yeah.
What if Lazara is also helping her lie?
Actually, hang on. I've done something wrong with her stats. No, that should be that. That's fine. Yeah, no. No, seems legit. My mistake. I did something wrong with her statistics. But yeah, 100% legit.
Diana says, ew.
She's like, yeah, you know, drunk people, it's, you know, yeah. It's okay. Some of the other monks will clean it up. They'll just shovel the sand off the edge or something.
Not
They
my
won't
job.
shovel him off the edge. They're not that fun.
Fuck. Yeah, well, I've been drunk a lot of times and I've never gone around drawing dicks.
Yeah, well, to each their own. And you recall that some people do funny things in their sleep. Some people that are here today. So, I mean, who knows? Seems legit. Some people draw things in their sleep, it seems.
She remembers that.
Yeah.
She says to Sarah, and she's like, I guess it checks out.
Absolutely.
So you guys are gonna throw hands or what?
And she kind of like bounces around on the spot, warming up, jumping and bringing her knees up to her chest and all that kind of stuff. Getting ready to go. And doing her arm stretches and being like, yeah, just let everyone know that we're going to do that.
Yes, if you beat Lazara up again, next you'll have to fight me.
She's like, oh, I'm looking forward to it. Don't let the monks tell you that I said that. Don't tell the monks I said that. That's not... I'll get in trouble for that. But, I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Fuck.
So... the pair of you head over to like the fire pit as Diana, you go and gather a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets like, I guess whoever looks like they're not super busy, she probably gets clothes as well.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, Lazara's gonna get beat to shit again. Let's go watch.
All right. Lazara, please roll initiative. Just so I have.
Let's do it.
Go.
God damn it.
Like, nah.
Well, I mean, maybe she roll worse.
Yeah, watch she just like rolls a nat one.
If she rolls a nat 1, it'll still probably be like a 13.
Because monks tend to have.
So,
Oh no!
Slight difference.
Her nat one was a 19.
yeah. So you like get ready to go, and everyone kind of starts gathering around, and they're like, "Way!" All the guys are super hyped, and the women are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Fighting a child. What's wrong with you?
Are the boys there?
All the boys are all there, and they're all cheering her on quite fervently. They seem to have some sort of competition going on to see like who can cheer the loudest.
Oh my god.
Lazara just stands opposite of Indigo, and she draws Diana, the dragon slaying cutlass, and she just kind of points it at Indigo and says, "All right, you ready?"
Indigo nods, almost like licking her lips in anticipation, like a dog looking at its food. And another monk is there. You can feel like the heat from the fire on either side of you, in this sort of like 25 by 25 foot ring. And the other monk that's there raises a hand up in the air, and slowly lowers it, signaling for both of you to bow to each other. And she places like this end of her fist into the palm of her opposing hand and bows.
Lysaira attempts to do the same thing while still holding the cutlass.
Yeah. Alrighty. Just kind of like carefully pointing it out away from you. And you stand back up. And then the monk brings his hand back up very quickly, indicating the beginning of the battle. And like a blur, she kicks off from where she is, and immediately she's in front of you. And then you see... I'm going to do a thing real quick. So immediately you see a foot like come right up into your face, and as that happens, the foot her and the foot come right up in front of you, and then they both immediately vanish as though she was never there in the first place. And then she kicks you in the back of the head. She's suddenly behind you.
Amazing.
From the first kick, you take 8 points of damage. And then while she's in the air, her second foot connects with like the center of your back. And you take another 10 points of damage, so 18 points.
Oof. Jeez.
And then she sort of like twirls around in the air and lands back on her feet, ready for her next move. She actually made 4 attacks, but 2 of them missed. So next is going to be Lysaira's turn.
All right, so give me one moment. First, Lysaira is going to take a swipe at her with the cutlass.
Okay. Ooh.
Nice.
You sort of judge where her movements are coming at you, like after you turn back around at her, after she's landed and she like charges at you. You judge quite well where she's going to be, and you make a slash and you connect with her. Roll your damage.
All right.
Knowing that she doesn't take the extra like dragon killing damage.
Yeah. Just the DA and +4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Worth noting, you can purposefully deal non-lethal damage as well.
Oh yeah, everything Lysaira's doing is non-lethal.
Excellent, cool.
Yeah, I feel like that goes without saying.
Yeah, just thought I'd check.
No, just fucking slaughter people during
Yeah,
the duel.
he just murders her. Just all like, I win, and she's like in half.
Oh, whoops.
Yay, I've slaughtered this child. No, so that was 1 attack, and she is right, like, sort of next to you still.
Then, check something real quick. Then, Lysaira is going to cast Mirror Image.
Okay.
So, let me just... And... Alright.
Alrighty.
Okay. And, let's see. I think that's all Lysaira's going to do for this turn.
Alright. Okay.
I forget not everyone gets a ridiculous amount of actions.
Yeah. So, Indigo is going to come at you again with another few strikes of hers. So, 1 more. 2, 3, and 4. me just really quickly go and check Lazara's AC. Okay. So this time around, most of her attacks miss you. However, one of them does connect. And you have to roll a. Is it they have to roll, or you have to roll a d20?
I have to roll a d20.
All right, to see if it connects with it instead of you.
And I need to roll 6 or higher.
Yep. Wonderful. So the strike immediately goes like through like one of them, like whoosh, and that one just kind of vanishes, I assume. So you have like 2 duplicates left. Is that how it works?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, she misses you and hits one of the duplicates, and then she sort of rights herself and uses a bonus action to jump back and do that. What's it called? The one where you jump out of combat. Disengage.
Disengage. Yeah.
Yeah. Disengage away from you about 5 feet, so it allows you to, if you want to jump back into combat with her, you have to like take a step forward at her. But yeah, just sort of instinctively. And now it is your turn again.
All right. So she's going to go ahead and use her bonus action to cast Hex.
Okay.
And
I guess Fireball.
Let me roll a d20 for that. All right.
Yep.
So after that, she is going to she's going to stand exactly where she is and cast Eldritch Blast.
Excellent.
Oh
God
my
damn it.
god.
Oh,
A natural 20 and 2 nat 1s.
Wow.
All right, so
Amazing.
10 plus 4. And then 1d6 for the Hex.
Yep.
So 19.
Alrighty.
And then what should I do next? Okay, I will. I forgot to say it, but I actually was going to give her disadvantage on dexterity.
Oh right, yes. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay.
And you know what? Screw it.
Excuse
Excellent.
me.
Okay, so fireball.
Jesus Christ, we're gonna murder a child.
Let me just check her thing that she has here. She has to make a dex saving throw. And she
yes.
has disadvantage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, the fireball!
Oh no!
The fireball!
Okay.
It activated wild magic.
All right. So first of all, what's your spell save DC, real quick?
It's I believe 16.
Okay. There is a large explosion that goes off in the middle of the field, engulfing. So Lazara, I'm going to assume that you're going to sort of step back against the edge of the field and use it on like that end of the field so that it engulfs her, but is far enough away that it doesn't engulf any of the crowd that's gathered to watch.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I should have asked how big this
I just
is.
wanted to like double check
Murder
that you're not gonna. No, I assume that you weren't going to hit anyone in the
Complete
crowd.
carnage.
Yeah, I want. Yeah, I probably should have asked how big this field is first.
Yeah, no, I was going to assume that you weren't going to damage anyone in the crowd. I wasn't sure if you were going to like get both of you in the blast, so it's fully contained in the field, or have it like on her side or what. So good to know. So there's a large explosion. I'll get you to roll your wild magic.
All right. Give me 1 second. All right. Here goes nothing.
82.
82. Check that.
you can take one additional action immediately.
Well, there you go.
What? Nice.
Yep. You get an additional action.
You're like, oh, this one worked out.
I guess I'm just going to cast Eldritch Blast again.
Okay. You
Let me do that real quick.
Blast into the explosion that's taken place, where you're sure that she was standing. And just you guys watch.
Oh my god!
Just Lazaro riddles her with all of her magic. Just an
Jesus
explosion
Christ.
and all these eldritch blasts and the hex and all kinds. Just
It's like that thing from like Legend of Korra where like Bolin's just like getting like smacked in the face of all that water bending, just like gets knocked off. Yeah.
Yes. 14 plus another 10. Okay.
Jeez.
So
Murder a child.
4.
Don't worry about it. She's pretty tough.
Yep. So
Um,
after the explosion clears away and your eldritch blasts go through, you notice that she, like, there was absolutely no effect on her from the explosion whatsoever. Like, she took no damage from your fireball at all. Not even half damage. And then you hit her with the eldritch blasts. Like, she wasn't ready for those. So she wasn't able to dodge out of the way of that. As they come through the explosion to hit her. So that
I just imagine her being like, "Ha! You thought that would? Ugh."
Yeah. So that's a D20 for the first Eldritch Blast, and another D20 for the second one.
I'm sorry. What was that?
You had a D20 for their first Eldritch Blast, so another D20 for the second one because you did 2 Eldritch Blasts there.
Oh, you want me to you want me to roll for each individual beam?
Yeah.
Isn't
Okay.
it a single one?
I thought that it's
Second
one
one?
cast
you
for
have to roll
multiple
2
beams.
attacks, so I figured
Well, yeah.
may as well.
More interesting, I guess.
Yeah, it's more fun.
Okay.
Okay, you're fine.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be the end of your turn. And Indigo is going to run up to you and do another unarmed strike. And another. And another. And another. So 2 of these hit, so you're going to have to roll for your magical boys to deflect the hits. So the first roll, I think you have to get like an 8, I think it was. 8 or higher. And the next one, you have to get an 11 or higher. Nice.
Oof.
So the first strike that comes forward is like a punch that goes like straight through the gut of one of the other ones. And while her stance is kind of low, with her other hand, she comes straight up at the next target, which just happens to be the actual you. And it just, her palm like just connects with your chin. And for a split second, you go blind. Like it just stuns you completely. And I'll get you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
Oof.
Nailed it.
You are stunned until the end of your next turn. Of
Really?
her next turn, sorry. So you just kind of stagger for a second while you try and gain your composure. You feel like your bottom jaw slam upward, and it just kind of rocks your brain a bit. And you see stars, and that gives her a chance to, well, you're stunned for your turn, gives her a chance to get a few good hits in. Alright. You get quite lucky with 2 of them. 2 of them miss, but 2 of them do connect quite brutally. Let's do this all at once. For 11 points of damage from the 2 hits.
All right.
Alrighty. She is going to disengage again and take an extra little jump back and end her turn. So now is your turn.
All right. So let's see. Azira is going to yeah, I think she's going to cast Eldritch Blast again because fuck it.
Yep, sounds good. Oof. Alright, let's see what's her AC. Those unfortunately both miss.
All right. And I'll go ahead and roll for all of them after this, but she's just going to do it again.
Yep, cool.
Oh my god.
That's just why you didn't roll then, hey? So that last one does hit.
Okay. So, oops, hang on. So...
Monks are crazy. She's not even wearing any armor.
They're wild.
Yeah. Her AC is like 10 plus her dex plus her wisdom. Like all of it together. And she's just like, whoa! Alrighty.
That's why I like monks.
And let me just go ahead and... Okay, the first one activates Wild Magic.
Excellent. So that's a 2.
2. What's that? Roll the table again at the start of each of your next turns for the next minute, ignoring this result on subsequent rolls.
Wow, so every time you... Oh, and that was the first one.
Oh, well, it's the only one that activated.
Roll on this table at the start of each of your turns for the next minute, ignoring the result on subsequent rolls.
Wow. So
Wait, what
every
does that
turn
mean?
you have, the start of your turn, every subsequent turn in this combat, you have to roll on Wild Magic.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Amazing.
Oh.
That's the effect
This
of
is-
1 to 2.
This is going to be a disaster.
Yes.
Oh
it's
my
great.
god.
7 explosions all at once. No,
Nick, this is great. Like, oh my god.
I love it. So next is going to be Indigo's turn, unless you have something else you wanted to do.
Let's see.
Oh, did you do your hex damage? Oh, you did, yeah.
Yeah, I did my hex damage. I have a bonus action. I don't think I'm going to use it for anything.
Okay.
Concern.
I'm excited.
Next is going to be Indigo's turn, and she's going to try her unarmed strikes again, rushing in at you to try and beat you up. And she does.
Wait
Oh,
a
no.
minute.
Yeah, go on.
Do I have a reaction?
You do.
I cast shield.
Excellent. Okay, so let me quickly look up shield. Oh, there we go. +5 bonus to your AC. That is very good. What's your AC with the bonus?
With the bonus, I think it's 22.
22? Alright, so only 3 of her attacks hit you.
I was expecting like
one of
1
them is a
or
crit.
something, but no. I was expecting 1 hit,
Hold on,
but
I
no,
can-
it's like Christmas for me right now.
He's not lying. I'm looking at them right now.
I'm only saying that because I bet 5 gold on Indigo.
Shit.
Yeah, let me just send it here for you guys. There you go. So rolls.
Oh boy.
Wrong.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Yikes.
Fucking destroyed.
Jesus.
So
Annihilated.
How do these rolls look nice on your screen, but for us it looks kind of weird?
I
like the little box.
I have like a special like NPC like thing set up for her so that I can roll off of her
Oh,
NPC
it's really
thing.
cool.
So it
Yeah.
looks nice in the chat.
Yeah.
36 plus 4. Ooh, very lucky. The crit was her lowest roll of a 1. So 23 points of damage for Lazira.
All right.
How are we feeling?
Let me. She's starting to feel it.
Yeah. All right. Next is Lazira's turn. So.
All right.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So, she's still up in my face right now, I'm guessing.
Yes, she's right there.
Okay, so Lazira's going to take a bonus action to disengage. But before she does that,
yep,
I have to roll on the WoW magic table.
Yep. 78.
Ooh,
That is...
that is...
Cast polymorph on yourself.
On yourself. Oh
if you
my
fail
god.
the save, you turn into a sheep for the duration of the spell.
Alright.
Oh,
boy.
Roll.
Oh my god.
Is there as
This
watching
is a
the
wild
fight?
fight.
Hang on a sec.
Okay, what do I have to roll for that?
Let me quickly check. A wisdom saving throw against your own spell save DC.
Good, I have a 1 in wisdom.
Excellent.
Oh,
Oh, nailed it. Okay.
oh,
Good.
awesome.
Cool. All right. So, yeah. So
All right, so
right up in your face.
Lazira is going to disengage,
Yep.
and she is going to attempt to finish this as quickly as she can.
Okay. Yep. First one hits.
All right. So I'll roll that real quick.
Oof. Ooh, it's close. Oh, there we go. Okay. So with that final blast, you manage to hit her square in the face with the force damage, which knocks her unconscious and sends her back onto the stone slab there in front of you, just flat and sprawled out and just done. And everyone's like, whoa! This was a crazy fight. Everyone's like explosions and magic. And
I lean towards Gunther and I say, I'll be taking that 5 gold now.
You earned it.
Lazira is just standing there, just completely worn out because
yeah, the hell of a fight. Amazing. Everyone's just cheering and whoa! And oh man, the monks come in and they give each of you a bow and they fucking splash her in the face with that water again, feed her a health potion, get her back up and standing, and she stands to her feet and immediately she bows to you, but in doing so is nearly she almost tumbles forward, but the monks sort of catch her and stand her back up, and she's like, get off me, I'm not a bitch.
Not a little bitch.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a hefty good fight.
Lazira bows back to her and says, "I'm impressed. You're pretty even when I'm not handicapping myself, that was still a pretty amazing fight." She
grins and she says, "Yeah, well, seems you've done a bit more training yourself. Good to see that you're up and running a lot more. We'll have to do this again later. Come back in a couple months and we'll see how much I've progressed."
Let's go again.
Let's go again.
Lazira laughs and says, "You know what? I look forward to it."
And everyone is crazy cheering the two of you on. After you guys spend some time recovering and everyone's giving you cheers and handing you a health potion to drink it and get you back up to speed. Just a normal health potion. That's what they have in stock here. So it's 2d4 plus 2.
All right.
And
Diana leans over to Clovis and she says, "Damn, I want to listen. I get your ass kicked again."
Clovis is well, I'm just glad that nobody died. Because that was a lot. That would have killed most normal people.
Faye's now 5 gold richer.
Faye's the only one that's happy that Lazara won because she got 5 gold out of it.
People are happy that someone won. Like, all the townsfolk are happy. They're like, yeah, that was crazy. It was a wild fight. They have mad respect for everyone. Lazara, as you're coming off the field and, like, meeting up with everyone and stuff, I'll get you to roll a perception check. In fact, everyone can roll a perception check if they want to.
Alrighty, rude.
What do my eyes see?
Probably
not much.
No, it's fine. You see. While everyone's kind of, like, gathering their things and getting ready to leave, they were going to go and have a meal and then leave. While everyone's gathering their shit together, you notice that, like, she walks off the field and sort of approaches those guys, and you can see that all of them back away immediately. They're all fucking terrified of her. They're absolutely mortified. They're like, what are you? And they run. They go and, like, I have to go. And they just go and join their family and leave. And she's like, what the fuck?
That's fine.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So they're all deeply intimidated by her to a point where they literally turned tail and ran. All of them. Every one of them.
What did they
And
expect?
she's like, what the fuck, man? But, you know, them's the ropes. She had fun.
Diana's gossip week.
Then perish.
Like, Clovis like looks at them, run away, and he's like, really? Like, I stuck around. Even though she scares the shit out of me, I still stuck around.
It's like, you gotta show that big dick energy.
That's exactly
Stick
it.
around.
They have big dick energy. So, yeah, she looks kind of disappointed and kind of trudges off with some of the other monks and to go and, you know, clear up some of the debris from the explosions and all that. And the rest of the townsfolk sort of clear up and help them pick some of the stones up and all that kind of
I
stuff.
want to say that, mind you, I don't think Clovis has ever seen Diana fucking
Explode.
throw hands at anyone or just like see her fight anything in general.
Hasn't he?
He hasn't.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. We'll have to change that.
It's not like, oh, look at my tiny little tiefling girlfriend, and then she just fucking obliterates a dragon. He's like, oh, look at my little tiefling girlfriend.
He knows of these things that she's been part of, but he's never seen her like be part of it.
Yeah.
Hasn't
All
seen
these
her in
crazy
action.
stories, like, yeah, and then he sees her, like, decapitate a dragon and, like, lift its head, like, Kalima! And he's just like, oh, okay. Anyway, you guys...
Not sure if I'm frightened or aroused.
Yes.
Both.
Let's go with both. Both is good. Yeah, so you guys follow the townsfolk up the stairs, and they're everyone's so pumped. It was such a crazy wild fight, and everyone's like in such an energetic mood. And you think that they'll have just like all this crazy stuff to talk about now going through the tunnels, and like just they're super impressed. It was like the craziest. So you'll go down to the fire pit to share in a meal together before the townsfolk leave. There's the goat or the ram that Gerber skinned and hunted, all on his own, of course.
How
Where
well
are
did he
they?
skin?
Did we see
How did?
them?
What was that?
Which one?
Lacey, what did you?
Oh, okay. I was just wondering how well he skinned that ram.
He did a decent enough job. Like
Okay.
he's had to resell pelts and stuff before, so he knows what he's doing.
I'm proud of my son.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, do we see like Gervis and
Azus?
Aces?
You see like
Jesus.
you see like a few like glances she gives at him, and he looks at her,
Like
and they
checking
both
him out.
they both kind of smile at each other like coyly,
Aww.
and you're like, this is the whole, this is going to work out because this was like Tuazar Merton. I remember this. But yeah, it seems as though it's worked quite well. Yeah, he's sitting down with a few people having a meal. Asus comes and joins that group.
I got 2 dragons laid tonight. That is yes.
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 So
Last session we got 2 dragons to fight each other. This session we got 2 dragons to have sex with each other.
Amazing. Also,
it's a circle of life.
Yeah, exactly.
Circle of life, circle of death.
The circle of dragon sex, life and death. So
dangerous.
You also notice things like that white dragonborn from before. That would be.
Oh man, did he watch that fight?
Yeah, he was there. Yep. Yeah, Tevrim is reasonably intimidated. And he's actively avoiding Lazara.
He knows what he did wrong, doesn't he?
Oh, 100%.
Oh my god. What a dick.
Jesus
He's an
Christ.
asshole. You think that's the first woman that has come to him during his tavern, like, after hours thing and been like, hey, the smash with Dragonborn? He's like, yeah, sure. First time that's happened.
It's not that he doesn't know; he just doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Oof.
He's kind of an asshole, but he's actively avoiding you because he's scared to death of you, and
He's like, I fucked up.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Oh shit!
Or like I fucked the wrong
Could've been
person.
nicer to that one.
Yeah, so he is sitting, you know, away from you and with another group of people. There are a few others sitting together. The only person who's not sitting with anyone is Kalas, sitting up on the stairs, kind of overlooking everything. And a couple of people walking by sort of give her a hey and a nod, and she nods back quietly and continues eating her food.
Is she eating or is she just hanging out?
Oh, she's eating.
Oh, okay.
She's just kind of sitting away.
Maybe Gunther should keep her company.
Go to her.
Go to her.
Go to her.
I mean, I was thinking about it.
He's like, you guys don't even need to tell me.
He's ahead of the curve. So, you guys all sit where you wish to sit and enjoy your meal. Is there anyone in particular you want to talk to, eat with, etc.? You also see Merton there with Tuazar, who seems to be recovering, but she's still in a little bit of a stupor. And he's just kind of like helping feed her. Because she holds up like a chicken leg up to her mouth, and she like leans in to bite it, but then she like her arm goes with her leaning, and like it moves away from her, and she leans like all the way forward and nearly falls down, and he has to like stop her and pick her back up and help move her arm toward her mouth.
Faye's gonna approach those two and just
that's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
yeah.
So Faye approaches them.
Yeah, and just like kind of just like, is she doing all right?
Tuazar gives you a thumbs up, but it's kind of like a really weird thumbs up where like her hand is still open, her thumb is just kind of sticking up.
I closed the
Basically
rest
like
of
a
her hand
handshake.
for her.
Yeah, like you close the rest of the hand and the thumb's sticking up, and then she just kind of smiles this big toothy grin at you. She has a little bit of like chicken in her teeth, that kind of thing. Yeah, like she's not doing incredibly well, but she's a hell of a lot better than she was before. The fever seems to have subsided, and she's doing better. And she like leans toward Merton. She says, "Explosion," and he says, "Oh yeah, there was a loud explosion earlier. What happened?"
I got 5 gold.
This seems to deeply concern Merton, but doesn't seem to concern Tuazar as deeply.
Lazara just smiles and says, "You don't need to know."
5 gold.
They commits arson for 5 gold.
Yeah, he's really concerned about who you blew up to steal their money. And he says, "But why? What happened? Is everyone okay?"
No, I won 5 gold. Lazara just totally like just beat the shit out of a tiefling monk, and I got 5 gold out of it. And it was great.
Tuazar with a mouthful of chicken is like, "Oh man, I didn't get to see it." Like she's so upset she didn't get to watch like the massive fight and explosions and all kinds of shit. She's just upset. She's
just like
she's devastated.
It's okay. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the last one.
And she's just like, yes. But like, as she does that, like with her big long S, like she just like there's bits of chicken that come out of her mouth and stuff, and like
She reminds me of someone who just got their wisdom teeth pulled.
that's essentially what this is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No worries. We'll get Diana to do it next.
Excellent.
It'll be interesting.
The yeah,
I was gonna
Merton
say
kind of
everyone's
like
gonna end up fighting her, and I was like, oh wait, Gunther should not fight Indigo because that will be
But
death.
you know, it's this thing where it's like tough tiefling versus tough tiefling.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, the thing is you
so-
can use your own weapons, so
Yeah.
Gunther's like, I shanked a dragon. Don't fuck with me. I got the power of God and anime on my side.
So Merton is kind of like helping clean her face up because she keeps like spitting chicken everywhere. And he's, you know, trying to at the same time eat his own food.
He loves that woman.
He
so
really
much.
does. He really does. And she
Fucking
loves him, so
propose
it's okay.
already.
Yeah, but like when you see someone like looking after like their partner in such a way when like they're fucking high, it's like yeah, he loves her.
Mm, cleaning like all the drool and spittle
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah. So the meal goes on without a hitch.
Where's Indigo after this?
Indigo is kind of sitting with a couple of the other monks, and she's kind of recovering. Like she's eating all the chicken she can to get protein and that kind of stuff, like to recover, like her muscles and all that. That were damaged from like, because the maneuvers that she did were like she teleported behind Lazira, like the after image thing, and like all of the super speed and getting 4 hits in every turn. That takes a lot of strain on her muscles and on her body, so she needs to just recover and just fix it. So healing potion, that's a good stepping stone to start with, and just protein. Yeah.
Is she like bummed out by like the thing with the boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's pretty bummed.
Oh,
She was hoping to like hang on to them as like pen pals and like keep him like held on, you know what I mean, for a while. And then she could come back to it later, like when she leaves the monastery and like hit them up, you know? And use them for things.
Use them for things.
Because I mean, look, they've sent her there to be like, you know, to make improvements upon herself, to
make her a better person.
Yeah, to not be like this. But she knows that they've sent her there for that. So the person that she is, she's not going to let that happen. She's going to put on a facade. She's a sociopath. She's going to put on a facade to make it look like look at me, I'm a reformed person. Look at me go, I'm so much better. And then as soon as she's out, she's like, let's fuck shit up. Like and now I'm a monk. I can defend myself.
If anything, they made her stronger.
Exactly. They created monster. But
I like to think that she'll become a better person eventually as well.
yes.
Yeah, I'd like to
Eventually.
think that too.
Maybe not in like an intense training camp that goes for 5
I mean,
months, but
she's pretty young. She's at that age, I would
Yeah.
say.
Mhm.
Yeah. she'll learn and grow and evolve.
Yeah, I was gonna go sit with her and like talk to her for a little bit.
All right. So you hang with her and
Lazara is too.
okay. So you guys sit with her and you know she's kind of like bummed about like the boys, and she looks up and like glares across the fire, and you can see like perfectly on the other side of the fire, there's these boys, and you imagine what they're seeing is like this tiefling devil woman glaring at them through flames. Between like fire and the dripping spit roast of a dead creature, and they just glaring, like hissing at them, and just you see the color wash from their faces as they all look down to the floor. And she says, "I'm sure other trading caravans will come through. They now have, you know, assistants and young guys working for them."
I like the way you think.
Fragile masculinity.
She's like, "Yeah."
Diana, you're
She's
not
like-
one to talk.
She says like, "Your boyfriends aren't like that, are they?"
Diana just kind of looks at like Clovis and she's like, I don't think he cares.
I don't think he cares. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Lazara just thinks for a moment and says, I'm certain at least one of them is.
Indigo gives you a high five. Both of you a high five. And your chat kind of like brings her spirit back up. Like she's kind of down in the dumps about like, that's something like she seems to like really want to have as like boyfriends and stuff like that, and live that
honey.
normal person life. But she's a tiefling noble monk that is terrifying and can just nope out of an explosion like nothing happened. So I mean, it's probably not one of her options, but she'll find someone eventually. She's just kind of bummed that she hasn't yet, and she's really craving that now. She wants to find like some boy that she can spend time with and mess around with.
Diana thinks to like Sarah and Merton and then her and Clovis, and she's like, you'd be surprised the kind of guys that really don't mind that sort of thing.
Anyway, she shares a meal with you guys, and everyone sits around enjoying their food. You have people sitting in their little groups. Azus is now sitting over with Gerbus, and Eris and Simon are watching them, and Eris is smiling like, "Oh, isn't that nice?" But she's smiling like, "Yeah, that's right, bitch. Like, I'll keep mine. You do you. I'll do me. Okay.
This is my baby daddy."
Yeah, exactly. But everyone seems to be having a really nice time, even though like Indigo got blown up and beat to shit. She's fine. She's having a great time.
Where's Clovis at the moment?
Yeah, you got 5 gold. Everyone's happy. Clovis is sitting with the head monk right now, and he's sort of like talking about like how they're going to organize getting everyone down to the tunnel and getting everyone back, and they're going to go like dual file lines, organized. Giselda's going to help. Like it's going to organized go in groups into the tunnel until there's only a few left, and then Clovis and a couple of the other guild leaders and stuff are going to horse back to Vaskia. What are you guys going to do when that happens?
When they're heading out, I guess maybe help. But like for now, I was gonna say that Diana is going to spend some time talking to, while talking to Indigo, she's gonna tell her like the whole story leading up to. To spend some time like telling Indigo like the whole story leading up to like her thing with Clovis. Just I don't know, it seems appropriate.
Okay, yeah. And she's like, "Oh, it's a nice story."
Give him a sword.
Yeah.
For some reason, he really liked that.
And now we're dating. Just that's it. That's
he kissed me, and I wanted to punch him in the face.
Yeah, and my dad nearly killed him a few times.
Gave him a sword, and then we went out for ice cream.
Good. Seems legit in that kind of world, in that fantasy setting.
It was a cold, and then he kissed me, and it was weird, and my dad
So, Gunther.
Yes, that's me.
While this is all going on, everyone's having their chats and a nice time around the meals and the fire and stuff. What are you doing?
Yeah, so basically, like, after getting my food and all that, I would just kind of go up to Kellis and ask her if I can join her.
She kind of scooches across the steps in such a way that there's enough room for you to sit and still enough room for people to walk by. And she nods.
Good. And I just sit down. And I just silence.
Okay. And she's kind of like a little red in the face and kind of like sitting around watching everyone. Gunther, I get you to make a perception check.
I will do just that.
Actually, do we see this?
Did you say
You
perception?
see them up there? Yeah. I mean, they're up above like eye level with like, away from everyone. So yeah. All right,
Nice.
Gunther, you notice somebody else looking at the two of you,
Who is it?
Katyn
Oh,
Sunchaser,
no!
Guildmaster of the Sigil Shield, the half-elf woman.
Oh,
no!
And
She's
she's sitting by the
heartbroken.
fire next to like where Gerbus and Azus are and stuff, and she's like looking up at you next to her and like sitting alone with her and stuff. She's a bit red in the face, and you can feel like her eyes on you, like from way down there.
Shit.
Is it like a piercing gaze that's just like, oh no? We're just like, oh,
It's not
God,
like
what's
a
happening?
threatening gaze at you. It's more of like a how dare she kind of gaze. Like she's kind of
Oh,
glaring
no.
at Kalas.
Oh, no, honey, you're not going to win that fight.
Yeah.
It's already a lost battle.
But
I'm
she doesn't
sorry.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, kind of like glaring jealously.
As if she actually had like a thing going on with him.
Yeah, it's like, how dare you? You cheated
Yeah,
on me. Go
exactly.
What the fuck?
They met
Yeah.
once.
It's exactly. But she's not like so much glaring at Gunther. She's like looking up at the two of you, so you can feel her gaze on you, but she's more like glaring at, like jealously at her.
She's
Oh
like,
my
God, I wish
God.
it were me.
Yeah. Actually, though.
You have it, I don't. This was like must.
She's big and shredded. Well, the other
I mean,
one
she
is
would have
also
muscles
yeah,
too,
she's
but-
also pretty tough.
But she's not collab.
She's got like big scars
Yeah.
on her face and all kinds of shit. Anyway, while you're all sitting here enjoying a nice meal, that is where we're going to call it a sesh.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
And then next time we
Alright.
will pick up from here.